All right, guys, by this point, you have created your categories and you have put in your grade weights. So everything should be set and look something like this. And then your term weights, everybody is going to have different ones. This year, I just did total points to make my life easier. But if you did category weights, you should have already filled all these things out and put in a percentage, right? So everybody's done with that. I'm going to revert because I don't want that. Okay. So in this particular video, we're just going to make an assignment, right? And so you just click on the plus and go to score sheet, then you click on the plus sign, and then you give it a name. We'll just make this test 1. And then you need to pick the right category. In this case, test for me. Now, when you set up your categories, you set up the points, right? So you're not stuck with that. It just puts that in because you set that as a default. But if you want it to be 100, you can change it. That's no big deal. This is where you will put in extra points. Let's say on the test you have 2 questions, each worth 4 points, and a kid can make up to 108. You have to put that in like this. If you don't put the extra points here and you try to put in 108, it kind of freaks out on you. So make sure that you put that if you want to. And then the abbreviation, I don't really mess with because it automatically makes it for you. Every now and again, you're going to have to change this. Let's say later in the year, you create a name that is the same name as something you've had in the past. You'll need to change the abbreviation a little bit, but all I do when that happens is put A or B or C. It's not that big of a deal. It just whatever naming convention you choose, just stick with it, if that makes sense. This is a choice thing. If you are like me and you typically give 100 points, then points is fine. But if you want to change it to percentage, you can, or to letter grade, you can do that as well. Occasionally, someone wants to have an assignment that is not included in the final grade. If that's you, you would click on this checkbox right here, but that's pretty rare. So you just make sure that you have that checked, unless you don't want it to count towards their final grade. And then you would click on this little box right here to choose the date, or if you prefer, you can just type it in over here. And then for the description, to be honest with you, I tend to not put a description, but you are welcome to do that if you want to. You can also add a link to things that you have in your school content or your My Content if you would like to, or you can add a URL to the assignment. Say you have something in Google Docs, you could put that there as well. For publish, you don't typically see teachers using this, but if you want to, you can have it published on a specific date, etc. You can choose this if you would like to. And then for published scores, you never want to uncheck that box. Always have that box checked. And then for standards, we can look into that more at a later date. If you're interested, just track me down and we can talk about it. All right. And so once you have everything the way you want it to be, double check, triple check, and then click save. And it will appear wherever 220 is. And in this case, 220 is in T5. So it's right there. And if you need to make a change, let's say you want to put it back onto T4, you would just change the date, save, and then you go back to T4, and there it is. All right, and that is how you create an assignment. Thanks.